I don't like things in dishwasher. I'm not gonna put in the dishwasher. You like this person's ugly. I'm really mad about my hands. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back with another episode of the Mike to Mike podcast. Come on, let's cheer it up, kids. Yes, yes, yes. And this is episode 14 of Manhood Conversations, our series that we've been doing now for the last 3 months, man. And you know what? This has really blessed me. I got some great brothers on here tonight, so we're going to have a great show. All right, so let's get our salutations and greetings out the way, and let's get this show started. So to the right of me, you already know who it is. He's a staple of the show. He is family, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? He's family, but still not Ramley, and he understands that. All right? But yeah, give it up for Cousin George, man. Let's give it up for him.
What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? I thought you was gonna sneak your Ramley in there with me, man. I thought I was gonna get in, man. I thought I was that close. I felt it, Beach. I felt it, man.
This week is the last straw for you, for sure. For sure. It'll never happen now. All right, to the bottom of him. Hey, you already know who it is, man. Hey, this is my old school friend from back. What was that? 2015, Dre, when we worked together, man. And you know what, bro? I think he's gonna have some good stuff to give us tonight, bro. Give it up for my bro, all the way out in Cali, man. Give it up for Dre Howard, man.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, y'all? All the way from the West Coast. Good to see y'all. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I'm glad you was able to come on tonight, bro. And then to the bottom of him, it's my bro. He's feeling a little happier because the Cowboys had a good draft, but they're still not gonna do nothing this season. Let's still give it up for my bro, man. Let's give it up for Meech, man.
Super Bowl champions, Loden, Caleb Downs. I carry my jersey on the way, icy white.
Are you serious?
Debuting this fall.
Hey, Cowboys all the way, baby. All the way, baby.
All the way, all the way. You a Cowboys fan?
Already know. You already know what time it is. Come on, baby.
Locked
and loaded, Big Meech.
Are we locked in, Dre?
Why would you do this?
We locked in.
This is the best time of year for y'all, huh? The off season.
We locked in, bro.
The best time of year for y'all is the off season.
This is our year.
All right, yeah. You've been saying that for the last 30 years of your life. All right, man. He's to the left of him. You already know, bro. This is my brother right here, man. Always giving them gems out, bro. Give it up for Kevin Aldridge Jr., man.
What's up?
Yes. And you know what, man? We got a great panel on, and how we start off is we check in on each other. Because, you know, nobody else is going to check in on us, you know what I'm saying, when things are going on. So the last 7 days, how has your mental been? All right, so that's the first thing that we ask is, how's your mental? And you know what? From a scale of 1 to 10, I would say, you know what? It's been a pretty good week for me. I give it an 8. You know, I give it an 8 right now. It's been a pretty good week. The week is rolling on by, working a lot, and I'm appreciative of that because you know what, bills got to get paid. And I'm in good spirits. Me and the wife are in a good area and a good space right now. So I would say this week, these past 7 days has been pretty good. How about you, George?
Week's going pretty good so far. I can be better. I ain't been back on my treadmill and working on like I should. I'm BSing around, but other than that, man, the grind gonna be the grind. So I give it a C plus so far. I mean, I got a few more days so it get better. So I think it'll get better.
All right, what about you, Dre?
Hey, the week has been all right, man. Actually, the weekend was the setup for the week. Let me just say that. I had a phenomenal time just being present in the moment with my kids, man. And just spending quality time with them is definitely refreshing, rejuvenating me to have a better week. So I would say my week so far is about an 8.5.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Meech?
And my wife still love me. I get to see my kids. Baseball season over with, and I just booked my vacation. It's a 10.
It's a 10. What a vacation? Where we going?
Now, if you asked me last week, I would have told you 2.5. But it's a 10. It's a 10.
What about you, Kevin?
We're going to the Bahamas, George.
Oh yeah, y'all big boy kicking it.
Yeah.
On the budget. On the budget.
Yeah.
On the budget.
Hey, send me the information.
All inclusive.
Hopefully I'll be with you, bro. Hopefully I'll be with you. We
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. Come on, bro. You need to come on.
All right, Kev. I know you just got back from ATL, man.
I did. We went to we did this little marriage seminar thing there, so it's good. You know, you're 10, so you know you gotta retool and cultivate what God gave you. So we did that, but I'm being about a 6. My baby girl ain't feeling too good.
Oh man, we gonna pray for her.
Yeah, for sure.
16, smelling itself, so but we managing, we getting through.
Yeah.
My hands ain't putting on nobody yet, so we out.
He's sniffing himself. He ain't smelling yet.
He's sniffing, right?
I feel you, bro. Trust me.
Man, George, you already know.
Hey, I want to start off a little bit different, man. I want to get on my soapbox a little bit. And the only reason why is that I want to talk to men out there and talk to everybody. I want to tell y'all, stop focusing on celebrity relationships. It's really starting to make me angry when I see things out here on the internet. We already know what's going on right now. Meg Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson, all this stuff going on. And everybody got their ideas of what happened in a relationship. And now these things spin off to men ain't nothing, women ain't nothing. How about you focus on your relationship? You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what happened to why they broke up. It could be why they ain't spending enough time together. It could be that Klay cheated, but Meg cheated. We don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, I am so tired of people not focusing on their relationship. You so worried about two people that you don't know that you can't even focus on what's going on in your own household or what's going on in your own relationship. And at this point, I'm getting tired of it. I really am. Can we please stop focusing on everybody else in celebrity relationships? Because here's the thing about celebrity relationships. A lot of them don't last. I'll be honest with you. A lot of them don't last because guess what? They're busy. A lot of times they do it for the wrong reasons. I'm being honest. And I don't even care because I got to focus on my relationship. I got to focus on making my wife happy. I got to focus on making my children happy and making sure they're provided for. So how do I have time to focus on two people that I do not know, and I don't really even want to know? I'm being honest. I don't. If I do meet them, that's great. But I'm just saying, man, can we please stop focusing so much and talking and nitpicking celebrity relationships? Y'all got anything y'all want to say on there before we keep it going?
I agree 100%.
No, sir.
Great.
Yeah, man. I just think I hate when people like us normal people be comparing our relationships to the celebrities. Like
any relationship.
Like we don't get to roll out of bed and have $1 million in our account. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't when I'm mad at you, I can just break up with you and I can go buy my next person. Like we ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't gonna go through nothing because they know they can just leave and go get somebody else. Please stop comparing our relationship to them. We gotta go work a job we don't like.
Right. And then these dumb so stupid. They talk about, well, since Klay cheated on Meg, I'm about to go cheat on my boyfriend. And
okay.
Okay. Are you out of your mind? We gonna cheat first. Like you delusional dumb. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all are crazy out here right now when it comes to being entwined in people's relationships that you do not know.
No, I understand that.
That's all.
But my thing is, I don't understand, how did that become the standard? Why are we basing what we doing off of Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion? How is that our standard? What are we doing? How are we dictating how we treat each other off of them, of all people?
I will never understand it.
I don't get it. It's the
weird.
dumbest thing in
It's
the
weird.
world.
It's probably because most people idolize these celebrities and they feel like everything is real. They want to be like them. They idolize them. You know, it goes back to what the word says, man. We should have no other idols before him.
Yeah.
You know, we just our attention is so, our perspective and our attention is totally wrong. You know, that same energy, that time investment of studying and trying to figure out what happened in this, you can apply that same into your own relationship. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, all that, it just builds something inside of you, into your self-conscious mind, to where you can even take it out on your partner, your significant other. because it's an ugly feeling. It's an ugly vibe. You don't want to bring that energy in the household.
That's a fact.
Like, it just causes frustration and tension of unnecessary. And you realize, why am I even arguing? Why are we even fighting? Why did I even bring this? Because our attention is not focused on our intention and our perspective is wrong. That's just basically what it is. You know
That's
what I
good,
mean?
bro.
Yep.
That's real good.
That's real, man.
That's it there for sure.
All right. So I got a couple questions for you guys tonight, and I'm gonna try to get you guys out of here in a good time because we get started a little bit later. But the first question is this: do you think society is harder or softer on men right now? And right now, I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's a little bit of both. All right. When it comes to just social media, I feel like men get bashed a lot. All right. we get especially black men. All right. And we get grouped into a group of everybody is all the same. And that's the only thing I cannot stand. Just because this guy is the same ethnicity as me does not mean that we are all the same. All right. And for some reason, even with this Meg Thee Stallion thing, now all women are saying black men hate us. Why does black men hate us so much?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate you. You know what I'm saying? I do not hate you at all. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's what it is black men get generalized a lot. And that's what I do not like, is that they are very hard. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to raising men, I feel like we got a lot softer. All right. When it comes to a lot of women, when women get involved, when you raising men, you got to raise men a little bit harder than what you raise those women. And a lot of times, I'll be honest, society does not want men to raise their sons. I mean, I don't get it. Even with this soft parenting stuff, I see a lot of parents, even when it comes to sports, where you're not going to talk to my son. Well, if he ain't really berating your son, putting his hands on him, he might need to get talked to because your son needs some correction. Because when he get out there in that real world, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a little different for him. So you need to set those standards now. So I would say it's a little bit of both. So we'll get started with Kev on this one. Do you think society is harder or softer on men right now?
I think, like you said, it's both. Yeah, I think the real thing is men don't know who men are anymore. If you open up your Bible, God give you a blueprint of exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? He tell you who you are. He tell you what you've called to be. You know what I'm saying? But we get caught up in the world system and we listening to what women say a man is, or we listening to what anybody can tell you what a man is instead of following the principles that God set forth before us. Simple as that. As far as us being softer, I definitely agree. Especially these kids. You can't tell these kids nothing. And that's the next generation of men to follow. So it's a crybaby generation, entitled, a soft generation, and it's scary, because the man is definitely becoming weaker. So I feel like it's up to the kingdom and the men of God to stand strong on what we believe a man is, what God tell us what a man is, and start with that to touch our discipleship, because we got to start reaching out and grabbing these kids. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing these young men, because right now we in trouble.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
True,
what about you, bro, on this one? How you feel on this one?
I'm gonna say it's harder because I think it's hard. It's hard to teach, like you just said, Kev, reach out to young men because of the foundation at home is really soft, right? Or there isn't a father at home. If they're up, so these fellas are looking for something that they don't have at home. You know what I'm saying? So they confide in the streets or with people they know they're not supposed to be with, or with drugs and alcohol and things like that. Also, I think in the dating world, like, thank God I'm not in that no more, but like, I think it's hard to be this perfect image of what a woman wants a man to be, because they don't know what a man is. You know what I'm saying? And so with that lack of standard and foundation, I think a lot of men are just lost completely, and they're not secure in who they are. You know what I'm saying? So they want to be somebody that they see on TV, a rapper, or artist, or whatever. They're not themselves. And so I think people are losing their own identity and don't find it until later on in life. And so you wasted a lot of your prime years trying to be something that the world wants you to, what the world portrays a man to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. What about you on this one, Dre?
Man, that's a good point, man. You guys both spoke a lot on that. I think that the roles have changed. A lot of women are now trying to take the ownership of being a man for some reason. They want to be independent, take care of themselves. If you've seen all that in the dating world, and then if not, there's an expectation that a man has to have. He's got to be wealthy. He's got to be rich. He's got to have this and that, even to entertain the idea of a relationship. So honestly, I think our morals, our values are totally off. It's a facade of what we're thinking of what reality really is. Like whatever happened to, just the standard going on a date. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my daughter, it's interesting. A dude showed up at the house years ago. Text my daughter, "I'm here." I said, "What? He not coming to the door? He not like what? Nah, we're not doing that, right? Mm-hmm. Get out of the car, come to the door, introduce yourself, and then there you guys. At that point, I know who I'm looking at, and we have a conversation. And that the roles are totally twisted. Social media has got everybody so in a fast-paced environment. Everything's already said and done before you even get to the actual relationship. There's no more talking. There's no more. Everything has already been done prior to the actual dating phase. So I feel like we're living in a society nowadays. Everything wants to be rushed, and nobody wants to take time to really get to know each other and understand the roles, or even establish the roles. That was one thing that my wife and I did. We built foundation, and we built our non-negotiables before we started dating, because we have a blended family. She has 4 kids, I have 2, so together we got 6, and she has 2 girls. So there's a lot we had to hash out, and a lot of that was, I said, even though these children aren't from me, we can't move forward if I cannot raise these young men as men. Right? I can't teach you our girls how to be women, but I can teach our men how to be men, and I can give a good example what a man should do for a woman. And for that, it's just setting the standard, bro. We just got to go back, and we got to keep our foundation and our morals and values, and don't divert from it, bro. Honestly.
Man,
that's good, bro.
Man, that's good.
What about you on this one, George?
You know what? I think y'all pretty much said it, man. Number one, society is way harder on black men. Period, point blank. Right? We are an endangered species. We are 100 species. We are everything that they are lying to say that we're not. You know what I mean? And so it's tough. We started off with Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion, which is foolishness to me, but it looks good on the surface, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Meg got somebody and Klay, this guy, things gonna happen. And y'all want to go left. Y'all want to shoot Klay now, right? And so they'll never say what Meg did. Like no person in the situation with the man gets blamed but the man, right? Mm-hmm. My house bill, what did he not do right? What did he do wrong, right? And so the standard that is set by me, the standard that's set for men is ridiculous. I think we don't get no grace. I don't think we don't get no mercy. I don't think we get people who ask us, man, especially our significant others, how are you actually doing? I don't think men get a safe space. I don't think men get a safe place to land. And so it's always treacherous for us. It's always tough. And so there's a standard, again, that we are reaching for, but we can never meet because we haven't fit in ourselves, right? I always say this, man. I sit amongst men, right? Everybody in my circle of influence, there's no bootleg, jackleg, cat, who I ever talk to who doesn't have a standard. So the people around, they set a standard. They make me raise my standard, right? And so, again, I don't know what they're looking for, but I think that the real man has to be able to set a standard, be a man of God, be a man of great character, integrity, morality, and live it out. But it's still not enough, right? It's still not enough. But if we do what we do what's in our heart to do, society always going to judge us unfairly. As long as we know we're doing right by the people in our sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm. That's real. I like that.
Good, bro.
All those answers was good, man. Appreciate y'all on that, man. Hopefully that helps somebody out there. Here's the next question for you guys. What's something that you have to unlearn about relationships? And this one is we can go a little bit deep on this one, but I'll start off is the biggest thing for me is that my wife is not me. Okay. And a lot of times that is something that is really hard. She's not going to think like you. She's not going to do it the way you do it. She's not going to fold clothes the way you fold clothes. She's not going to park the way you park. Even the smallest things that you think about. All right. She's not going to put things back the way you put things back. She might not put the toothpaste where you put the toothpaste. And you think about those things, man. That's one of the biggest things that I really had to learn about relationships is that you're literally taking two different people from two different backgrounds and becoming one. And it's a hard thing. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do because you have your things of how you were raised and how your parents taught you how to do things. And her parents taught her how to do things totally different. And it's a clash. It's a clash. Those first 5 years are really tough in marriage because really what you're trying to do is trying to mend and come together. And you breaking strongholds that you've had for years that you have to come together and mesh and become one. And it's hard to become one sometimes. And I think that was the biggest thing as far as me that I had to unlearn is that she's not going to do things the way I do it. And even if I try to teach her how to do it, she's probably not going to do it that way because she's her own person and she has her own personality and she has her own traits about herself. So that was my biggest thing. So what about you, George? What's the biggest thing that you had to unlearn in about relationships?
You know what? Honestly, I think the biggest thing I had to unlearn, real talk, love is not enough. And what I mean is, everybody gets married, you make the ceremony, and you sit in front of family and friends, and you make this vow for God, right? It's like, I do. And you think love is going to be it. And Mike, you said something, the first 5 years, in all honesty, you don't know what love is. You don't, right? And I think what you do is you got to take away every relationship that you've seen successful that you thought will work for you. Whether it's your favorite aunt, uncle, your older brother, your older sister, your actual parents. You realize I got to put my actuality into this thing, right? I mean, and you think love would be enough, but it's not because you have a fake love. You haven't even tapped into the true, authentic love that God has given us, right? I think once you break through that fake thing and get to the real, it changes, right? You realize that, hey, I don't have to be selfish, or I don't have to think I'm her dad, or she's my mom, or the case may be, but to love the actual soul of the person you spend your time with, that's amazing. So I had to learn that it's not enough because the initial period of that love is I don't want to call it fake, but it's glossy and glazy, and it feels okay. But when you have them situations where it's tension, it go out the window quick, right? Yes. And you will always have those moments where it's going to be heightened discussion, but you learn to move in love. Because again, I heard you say this, and I learned this as well. You got to lead in love and lead with love, even when me and her might be at odds, right? You know what I mean? As my boy T.I. say, well, we were at odds, right? But I'm saying, love wins everything when you find the correct love. And that love really points back to the love of Christ and God.
Man, it's good, cuz. What about you on this one, Dre?
Man, just thinking about it, man. Well, there's two things that come to mind. One, when you get married, this ain't no girlfriend and boyfriend relationship. You guys get in an argument, you break up, you can't just keep breaking up, throwing in the towel, right? This is something that you have to work towards, right? And as I was thinking about what to unlearn, because that was my thing, man. I don't know what, growing up, I was just quick, like, on to the next. Oh, she ain't gonna act right or whatever it is. But I never took any fault. So I think for me, what I had to unlearn going from that into a marriage and a strong marriage was I got to remove my pride and humility. I had to humble myself and understand that just like God says, our ways are not his ways. And I think about that with my wife because she's supposed to be my helpmate. So if I'm tripping, she's helping me. It's us against the problem. not us against each other. And I started to unlearn, like, I have to make sure I'm learning, like, if I just remove my pride, then at that point, our relationship gets better. We're able to see each other out and hear each other out because there's no ego in it, right? So for me, I think I had to really, truly unlearn how to make sure that I remove that pride, remain and live in humility and be softer to my wife. Because as a man, we could be hard, we could talk, we can be aggressive, but as a woman, we have to be soft, we have to be gentle, we have to be loving, we have to be kind. And every actionable action of that is of God. That's what God's love is. So I have to understand God's love a little bit more.
That's good. Yeah. What about you on this one, Meech?
I had to learn that providing isn't the only way to. How can I say this? Providing isn't the only way to guarantee gratitude from your spouse. So I'm from a like I have that old school mentality of, well, I pay this, I pay that, you should be grateful type of thing. Where I have to learn that doesn't replace me being emotionally involved, actively listening, understanding who she is and what she needs from me. I can't just always revert to, well, I do this and I do that. Well, that doesn't matter in that situation. That's something I'm supposed to do anyway. Mm-hmm. So I can't throw that in every time we have something going on. If that makes sense.
That's good. That's good. What about you on this one, Kev?
I had to unlearn how I would lead. You know, it was more of a because I said so type thing, and that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? That's not it. So I had to learn to be more understanding, you know, be more compassionate, you know, to listen and stop being defensive, you know. And once you learn that, you really learn that you really do have a partner.
Yeah.
You know, and once you got a partner, like you say, that you got somebody adjoining at the hip. So
right.
They helping you with decisions, you talking over with them with decisions, you listen to what they got to say. It makes life a whole lot easier, especially when you got a partner that's full of wisdom. Yeah. You'd be almost a fool. You are a fool if you know what I'm saying. If you said, "Nah, we're just gonna do it this way." Nah, God definitely has put some stuff in her spirit too. And you know what I'm saying? So who am I? Who am I to be like, "Nah, no, God has definitely spoke to this woman and gave her vital, important details about your marriage, about your kids, about life. So you'd be a fool just to shut her off and be like, "Nah, my way or the highway." That's dumb. And I definitely had to learn that, and it has taken us leaps and bounds.
Yeah. I'll read some of these comments, man. I know Raven talked, your wife, Kevin, she said a lot of them are real. She was talking about Megan Stallion situation. I got to pull it up. A lot of them are real PR people. Cousin Tony, thanks for watching tonight, cuz he says the challenge is determining what manhood, gender fluidity is too much of the conversation. He said the biggest thing I had to learn is that I don't have to have all the answers. And he said you brothers are on it tonight. So I appreciate that, cuz. The next question I got for us is this one. What's the biggest mistake men make when choosing a partner? And you know what? The way I look at this is you have to have, when you look for a partner, what is her foundation? All right. And when I say foundation, I think what me and Kania's relationship is built on is our love of God. That's the first thing that we started with, was, you know, how much we both love God in our relationship with Christ. And you know what? The foundation, of course, is family, how she was raised, her values, but really the love of God that she had. You know what I'm saying? That is what makes our relationship work. That's why we have lasted the last 10 years almost in marriage, is because we built it on Christ. I'm being honest. And you can't go wrong. That's a solid foundation. All right. You know, we already know the builder that built his house on sand and some that built theirs on a rock. And ours is built on that rock. All right. And that rock is Christ. All right. Because I mean, if we didn't have him in this thing would be over with a long time ago. And I'm being honest with you, we wouldn't be together. It would be 4 or 5 years from now, I would have been divorced already. if we did not have Christ and if we did not pray and go to Him on the problems that we had in our marriage. So I would say one of the biggest mistakes that men make is they don't look for what that lady's foundation is. We looking at the foundation on her face, her makeup, or we looking at her attributes of what she got, rather than what is your foundation before we even try to get into a relationship. So that's my biggest thing. So what about you on this one, Kev? What's the biggest mistake men make when choosing a partner?
I mean, that's 100% right. You know, like you said, if it ain't built on that rock, on that foundation of Christ, especially if you're a man of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you looking into the vanity of things and her, like you say, her attributes, her beauty, all that stuff fade.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is here today, gone tomorrow.
Yep.
So you ain't really focusing on her heart. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna submit not to you, not only to you, but to Christ. Man, that's it right there. That's it. Like I say, everything else will perish, go away.
Yeah, for sure.
So things of the heart. You know what I'm saying? Her character, her integrity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's important.
Yes, that's good. What about you on this one, bro?
Like I said, like y'all let it off right. Yeah, her relationship with God for sure. And then I think a lot of men have that "what can she do for me now" syndrome. Like, what kind of job? Oh, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be that. But like, how are you going about that? Who are your influences in life? How do you handle your finances? Who are you when times are rough? Like I always wanted someone who was just didn't have too much, didn't have too little, but was grateful for where they were and had like dreams and aspirations. And then, like I said, family background, friends, who are your influences, all that kind of stuff. Like I think guys are trigger happy and see something that they like, but don't really get to understand what they like.
That's
Right. Facts, bro.
What about you on this one, Dre?
Man, nah, you guys said a lot of it. I just think that you hit it on the nail right there, bro, is that we don't take the time out to truly get to know somebody. And even you being in a relationship for a year or two, I tell my daughters, and I stress this, I say, you need to see how a man is when he's going through certain things. When he has a job, when he's broke, when he's on top. You need to see how he is with his family, how he treats others. When you're out in the restaurant, like those all those little details matter, right? And I always do it with my kids, because my wife and I were like really truly big on, pouring into our children, because Mike, you said earlier, if we don't raise our kids, the world will raise them for us. So it's us to be able to do that. So we have to be an example. So when choosing the right partner, it's important to go under the surface level questions, spending time. It's okay to have a second, third, fourth, fifth date. It's okay not to be sure. It's okay to challenge the status quo. It's okay to come with your baggage. When me and my wife got first together, I'm like, look, I got 2 baby mamas. I'm paying this amount in child support. This is the situation. This is how it is. This is who I am. You ready to rock?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, it's like, why waste time? Let's get to it. You know what I mean? And because if you do that, it allows you to go deeper, have conversations. Then you have an opportunity to, there's more. Hey, you know what? This has been great. Let's follow up on this. Let's go deeper into this. Let's talk more. So I think choosing the right partner, man, is not being such in a rush. It's okay to challenge the status quo, and it's okay to be yourself and stand your ground and come with your baggage and everything you have, and allow them to accept you for who you are and don't change for nobody.
Good.
Spot on.
Because
The biggest mistake men make, they don't see God's face. They don't. Right? The second big mistake is men see the booty and not the beauty. Real talk.
Cheeks.
Yeah, you see them yams, you see them hams, you just lose.
Yamathons.
Attributes right there.
Listen to me. I was saved when I married my wife, but I was deep into my salvation, right?
Yeah.
had world enemy, still had me and me. So you know, and a lot of men who get married, they're not saved. Right?
Yep.
So it's hard for a man to see God and to know God, but they should. And it's just you see the case. So again, I'm not mad at the man who make a mistake, but you gotta see God, man. And it's funny, God is always around. He's talking to his whole creation. We his creation, and I would pray that any man who's listening to this podcast who's not saved, be saved, get your salvation, and see God's face. Because there's nothing worse than marrying the wrong person.
Man.
Nothing worse. There's nothing worse. And I can say that because I know I married the right person. So imagine if I married the wrong person. You hear me? And so,
Come on, bro.
marriage is tough when you marry the right person. Oh, man, one of y'all brothers, something like you said earlier, man, self we had some rocky road, but we have more smooth than anything.
There you go.
Once you get past that rocky road, it's good. Me and this girl laughing at the silliest suit. Y'all think I know, but y'all don't. That's my partner, right? And so again, men that marry the wrong woman, they will bring it down. Right? I love what you just said. When you met your wife, you told her what it was from the beginning. Most women would have ran. I ain't been with no man, no too bad. He's stuck with it, and look where y'all at now. And so you want somebody, what Meek said, who won't be in a firefight with you, because you're going to firefight. Sometimes you might have friendly fire with the person who you married, right? There's also a survival mechanism when you would tug of war with your spouse. It just is what it is, fight or flight. Man, I implore any man who listening, any woman who listening, seek God. Because you married the wrong person. Woo!
Yes, Lord.
Turn off.
I couldn't imagine.
Well said, bro.
And Tony just dropped the gym. He said, "You guys are absolutely right. Let's be real. A lot of folks are making bad decisions on how good the sex is, too.
Yeah.
And they'll call
That's a fact.
It's like
we men. You already know how to
she can have good sex and be a horrible person. Now you stuck with someone, right?
but they don't understand that's that spiritual attachment, though.
There you go. Come on, bro.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
It ain't just you
I
in
think
the
that's what
spirit.
answers the question. You know, because Tony said a lot of people believe that all couples cheat. What keeps you locked in and steering clear of cheating?
That's a great question.
That was a
Man,
good question.
I'll be honest with you. We all said our vows before God, and that's a good answer. But a lot of times, I think about the other side of it.
Yes.
You know, what would happen to my children? 10 years down the line, I will destroy a family. I will destroy. I will destroy the next generation based on 30 seconds or 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of pleasure. And it's like, is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Really worth it? You know what I'm saying? Because we all got eyes. We all know how we see women. We got women that approach us. You know what I'm saying? I got women that approach me all the time. I'm being honest. But I think about the bigger picture, man. I do. I really do think about the picture because these women don't think about her these days. I'm being honest.
Also, I think if you really love your wife, think about the hurt and the pain.
Oh, yes.
That you bringing her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you
not
really
even your, but I even say this, not even just your wife. Think about when your kids get old enough to understand
what you do.
You think now because they're innocent, they don't understand, but you've been keeping up this lie or patching it up, and now they understand it now. I see what you did to my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's a good one.
And the sins that fall upon man trickle down to the children, unfortunately.
It's a trickle down.
Why would I want to pour more of that sin and agony towards my children off of my doings? That's got to be the most selfish thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
And then you create generational curses because daddy did it.
Right.
You want to be real with my mama, well, I'm going to be real with this next one.
I see that all the time. I see it all the time.
Think about it also, man. The enemy would never show you the total picture. And like y'all just said it, right? There one moment in time, you don't realize down the road, everything is now destroyed.
I look at it.
He's gonna present it to you. It's gonna look like everything that you want.
Yep.
And
Ooh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I think y'all. I don't know if this was last week or the week before last. Y'all was talking about like hearing from God as far as like who you was gonna marry and things like that. I think you even hear from God when your friends could even be the devils, because your friends could be like, "Hey, let's go out. Hey, I got such and such coming through." You know what I'm saying? Like I hear God.
Right.
Like I remember like the first 8 months or something, I was with my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time, right? He was like, "Hey, you only been with her?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I want. Like, I told my wife when I met her, I said, "I don't need no more friends." And she kind of looked at me crazy.
Yes.
Like, I'm dead serious. I got enough female friends. I don't want no more friends.
Yes, sir.
So I made my intentions clear, and I want to keep up with that.
Dude, that's such a good point though, because like to answer the question even more in detail is like how do people cheat is you got to rid yourself of distractions and you got to be real with yourself. Temptation is a real thing.
It is.
Yep. It is a real thing, and you got to rid yourself of anything that can deter you off. One of my biggest things was social media. We're men. We see what's going on here with scrolling. That stuff downloads in your mind. It gets into you. Next thing you know, you looking. Your wife's not as attracted no more. Certain things go on. So I had to deal with that. Now our thing is, hey, we ain't following this person no more, because it's not going to be in the back of my mind. My focus is going to be all on my wife. Like, those are real things that we have to encounter and we have to deal with to know, nope, that's not for me. Or those friends like you had mentioned. Nah, bro. Well, I'm not hanging out with single folk. A married man don't need to be hanging out with single people, right? So we got to also rid ourselves from certain distractions that we know and are cognizant of to make sure that we steer away from cheating that can lead us into that temptation, because you can fall back into it.
And I'm just like you, Meech. I got people at work that said, "You ain't never cheated on your wife. You lying."
Where do you get that answer?
Why is that? Like,
it is. I don't understand.
Why a question?
They're cheating on their wives. So
That's a better question.
You're just mad at yourself because you're disappointed in yourself.
You ain't man enough to tell her. That's right.
You to be in the same pool.
No, brother.
Hey, misery loves company, bro.
I was just gonna say that.
Dude, I just can't keep up with a lot no more. I'm stuck in line now.
We got too much to be good at.
I'm stuck in line, bro.
We got too many other things to worry about, bro.
You think I'm able to keep up with two women? I can barely keep up with one.
That's what I'm saying. I can't keep up with all
I say to this one, I gotta hide my phone. How do y'all do that? I can't do it.
Too much.
You got the FaceTimes. You share locations. Like, bro, I ain't got time
for that, bro. I ain't got time. I got one more question for y'all, and we gonna get y'all out of here on this one, man. The last question is this: is masculinity being attacked or redefined? On the first question, just like the first question, I say it's a little of both. The reason why I did this show is because we need to start seeing masculinity. We need to start seeing real men. Right now in the world, almost every television show, they got some LGBTQ stuff in it. I'm being honest. No matter what show you watch, even on our big networks, they are putting the queer and all that type of stuff out there into the atmosphere for our children to watch. And it's all out there. But at the end of the day, we don't want to talk about real masculinity. Real men are not being put out there anymore. And that's my biggest problem. And if it is, it's more the women than the men. Now the women think they are more masculine than the man. They act like men are now. And that's what I'm talking about, with the gender roles being reversed and all these things going on, and where real men are becoming extinct. Right? Back then in the day where you had real men out there, you know what I'm saying? It ain't a lot of strong black men. I know I was just watching the Michael Jackson movie this past weekend, and they talked about Joe Jackson. I ain't saying Joe Jackson had a lot of problems, but one thing is Them how them old school men used to be back in the
He was
day.
a man, though. He was a man.
He was a
real
man.
man.
Yeah.
He stood on what he believed in. Now, do I
Exactly.
agree with all the things that he did to Michael Jackson? No, I do not.
Absolutely
You don't beat your kids. You don't berate your kids. You don't talk
Right.
down to your kids. But one
Right.
thing Joe stood on was he took care of all his. I'm just being honest with
Yes,
you.
sir.
For sure.
He was the done down.
sure.
He don't care who
For sure.
was. Joe still ran that house. And that's
Yes,
what
sir.
I appreciated about it. Because
There you go.
no more. There's not a
Yep.
lot of men like that no more around. And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna start with George on this one. What do you think on this one? Is masculinity being attacked or redefined?
It's both. Attack and redefine to make other people feel comfortable, right? But it doesn't give us the platform to stand on to be the men that God created us to be, right? Again, we got to change to everything and everybody to make other people feel comfortable. Ain't nothing wrong with a strong black man, like you say. I don't agree with everything Joe Jackson did, but one thing he did, he raised them boys, right?
He did.
Look at LeVar Ball, right? Look at Amon Ross.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. When you see a real black man who stood up for something, it scares America because you know what? That man ain't folding. That man, he's not compromising his moral, his integrity.
That's
He's
real.
a solid piece of granite and steel. He's an oak, right? He's an oak tree. He ain't going nowhere. He's been there. His roots are deep. He covers his family. He makes sure there's a standard to the home, right? But everything else, and again, if you anything other than a man, I don't want to go down the road and get crazy. Be a man.
Be a real man.
Be a man that God created you to be. And if you don't know what that means, seek God's face, right?
Yeah.
Go see God. He will tell you. Go to the creator who created creation. He can tell you what I created you for, what to be, how to be a man of integrity, of morality, of character, right? But everything else that is presented to the world is a soft, effeminate, impotent, weak man. He gets ran over, right? He has no say so. When he stand up, what you doing talking? Sit down. No, a man stands up. He has a firm foundation. He brings his home. He's good to his wife. He loves his God. And masculinity will always be attacked because it's attached to God. That's all.
Yeah.
Yes, good. What about you on this one, Dre?
Man, I could say a lot, man, but honestly, kind of goes back to what we was talking about earlier today. A lot of the women are taking over the roles because men are not stepping up in their rightful position.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if a man is not going to step up in the right position, women feel like they have to step in and do the role. But then also, you think about what many men are absent out of the home. See, that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants men to be absent out of the home because that's what the men we're the nucleus. We hold everything together. So women sometimes feel like they have to step into the role and be the man and the woman. So when they get into another relationship, it's like, well, this is all I ever known, and this is all they ever know. So they kind of have to unlearn how to be a man and try to be have some femininity to themselves because they've been playing man so long. Because there's a lot of weak men that are out here and not stepping up. So honestly, we are being attacked. And you hit it on the nail earlier, Mike. They're conditioning our minds to everything we see on TV, everything that they're accepting that's acceptable in the society today with no consequences, no correction. It's like you can do whatever you want to do, no consequences. You can be whoever you want to be, but there's no correction, right? But correction starts in the home. But how can a woman run a household and be a man and a woman trying to correct, So if a man decides to make sure that he, even if outside of the home, okay, cool. If a woman is a single mom, great, more power to her for stepping up and doing what she got to. However, a man, when it's his turn to pick up the children and do that, you got to step up and do your part. You cannot be absent. It is our duty to be able to establish that and pour into our children and have that correction. It's important. My 8-year-old son, we watch TV now and there's certain things that just pop up and he gives me that look like, that ain't right, huh, Dad?
Yeah.
Exactly. That is wrong. That's a man. Men are supposed to be a woman. We correct it on the spot. We nip it in the butt. So you cannot be conditioned into this world and society that tells you any different.
Yes,
then
sir.
you go out strong. So I can keep going on, bro. I'm going to just leave it there, bro, because that's a tough topic, dog.
It is.
It is.
It is. Yes. Yes, we need masculinity back. What you got on this one, bro?
I'm just say men are being attacked, and I think y'all said everything. But one thing I wanted to add to that is men are being attacked because society don't allow men to have emotions or feelings. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we have hard days. Yeah, we want to cry sometimes. Yeah, we want to vent what we got to say. But the world tells us, stand up, poke your chest out, do this, do that. Like, you still have to identify your emotions because they are real. Because if not, you're gonna unpeel a layer now of anger or what's what I want to say. When you mad at your wife about something that you didn't let go in the past. What's the word I'm thinking? God dog it. Resentment. Now you got resentment because you didn't say what you wanted to say back then, but you held on to it for 6 months. So I think a man that's secure within their emotions, allow them to get out what they got to say, but still taking care of business. I think men are being attacked that way. And sometimes it's self-inflicted because you have that space and opportunity to say what you got to say, but you sweep it under the rug. And I've been there. I've been that person where I just sweep stuff under the rug, and now I'm pissed off a year later. But I should have addressed it then. Now I don't allow that. Like I've learned that through my marriage. I can't allow that. Yeah, because I'm not just going to be this figure or this face of a man and not get off my chest what I should be getting off to my partner. And my partner accepts that.
That's good.
That is huge. And I'll be honest with you. I'm going to say this real quick for Kev, though. Only men can be men. Okay. I know we got all these new things going on, especially with the studs and all that. I get it. I promise you I do. I'm just gonna let you know this right now, bro. Only a man can be a man. You can try to act as much as you want. The same thing with you men out here that try to be women. You can't be a woman. You're not blessed with what God has given them. I'm being honest with that. So get it out your mind. If you just a man that like men, you cannot be a woman. That's all I'm gonna say on this, man. Just because you wake up, I can't wake up and say I'm a flower because I just said, no, I'm a man. God made me as a man. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now, and that's all I got to say about that. Okay, that's how I believe. It's the Mike Podcast. That's what I'm standing on.
Hey, bro. I'm standing with I don't care. Hey, it's this young. Y'all gotta find. I'm gonna send it to y'all in the group chat. It's this young cat that be singing to studs, bro. Like he be trying to flirt with them, and they be in the comments like, "Man, this dude doing the Lord's work." He converting one stud at a time.
Lord,
that's right up my alley.
Bro, he just walk up and sing to studs, bro.
And like women, I'm just talking to the people out there that think they are a man. Yeah, let me make that very clear. I don't care what your preference is and who you like. I'm just saying you take it too far when you think you're a dude. All right, that's what I think is too far. What you got on this camp when it comes to masculinity?
Man, I agree. I definitely feel like it's under attack because they want it to be redefined. You know what I'm saying? They want to tell you can't tell nobody how to be a man or how to be masculine. They want to be able to push an agenda where if they can say masculinity ain't really necessary. You can't say he ain't no real man because he paint his fingernails. You know what I'm saying? Though he gonna get a bust down, doggone split down the middle. You know, you can't tell him he ain't no real man. Bro, hold on. First of all, I was just in Atlanta. And I saw, man, I ain't never seen so many men with BBLs in my life. Bro, I was so confused.
That's a bad look.
Man, it's crazy. Yes, it's definitely, we are definitely under attack. Man, Raven was like, did he got a BBL? I said, baby, yeah, that's a BBL. It's crazy out here, bro. So we definitely, we under attack, bro. They trying to, it's definitely an agenda being pushed. As men, if we don't stand 10 toes down, we gonna get swept.
Man,
pushed to the side.
Yeah.
It's real.
Can I pose a question before we get off?
Yes.
What's y'all thoughts on like the women that get married to each other and then have a son or like adopt a son in the household?
That's a tough one. Because
no, it ain't right.
It's not.
I don't agree at all. For what?
But
For what? For why? Same way when two men go adopt a little girl, what we doing? Why we playing games, man? Like, come on. It's off. It don't look right, don't feel right, don't seem right, in my opinion. I ain't gonna even hold you.
I think that adoption rule should be a little bit strict. This is just my opinion.
It should be for man and woman.
It should be for man and woman, to me.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It all goes to this rejection of we don't need God, we don't want His standards, His laws.
Mm-hmm.
So we will let anything go, and so it's bigger than what we think it is, because the enemy has warped what love is. Right? Love can be man to man, woman to woman. No, love is true love. It's true love. It's man to woman, not man to man, not woman to woman. And you can have agape love for the person or the phileo or whatever it's called, but I'm telling you, it's all an agenda that the enemy's pushing. That we're pushing God out of everything. So when you push God out of everything, you allow a whole bunch of junk into space, right?
Yeah.
Confusion.
You got junk. And I'm not calling no human being a junk person because I ain't judging nobody. But there's a standard that has to be set. When you don't have a standard, anything can come in. That's all I'm saying.
I think, because I coach a kid in this situation, and like, he's tough in one moment, but his emotions are just all over the place. Like when it get hard for him, it's hard for him. And I think the system is we're trying to please these parents that chose their relationship status instead of forgetting, like, what about the kid?
Hurting the kid.
Like we're not helping the kid. The kid is cash worthy, right? But what about their well-being? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just find that so messed up. I really do.
So I would like to play devil's advocate a little bit. I believe exactly what Kevin's saying. I believe that men and women should raise children. But I think what a lot of these people are saying is, what about these kids that come from broken homes where the dad and the mom aren't taking care of them? But we have a household where we can take care of the kid. We can give the kid love. Even if we are together, we are able to raise this kid and bring him up in a good household. And some of these kids come from horrible households with no structure, no anything. Mama ain't taking care of them. So how do you look at it on that side too? Because that's what a lot of them are saying, that I can provide them with a good household. It's just not going to be, a man and a woman. It's going to be two women raising this dude.
You know what, Mike?
Raising this girl.
In that situation, be prayerful. Like real talk. In
That's
all
right.
things that we do, seek the Lord's face. 3-point blank.
Hey, that's so good, because you said, my bad if I cut you off. I just wanted to interject and say this one thing. I think today we have said a lot, and what I've been picking up, we've all been saying is the standard, right? Right? Yep. We've heard standard. That reminds me of running a business, a good franchise business. Let's take In-N-Out, McDonald's, a good business duplicates and replicates itself, right? Because it has a standard operating procedure, SOP, and it can be duplicated every time without harm, without foul, right?
Yep.
Now let's take it to the spiritual realm. We have a standard operating procedure, which is the word.
Amen.
So anything that we deal with, we should utilize that standard operating procedure and find context and use it, which is why I don't believe that a man and two men should adopt someone or two women should adopt, because in the Bible, that operating procedure states there was an Adam and there was an Eve. Not an Adam and an Adam, not an Eve and an Eve. And that's the conditioning that the world tries to, which you mentioned, they are trying to get God out of it. We got to bring God back, the source back to it, man. And that's why the men have to take their rightful place in order for us to deliver this word, man. So that's what I got to say about that, man.
Yeah, real.
Can I add one thing?
Go ahead, Kim.
Just because us five brothers up here is saying that we don't agree with it, we are in no way, shape, or form speaking hate.
No,
Thank you, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for saying that.
That's it.
No, not
Thank
at
you
all.
for
We
saying
gonna
We love, we leave with love.
we gonna see you. We gonna love on you regardless of what you look like.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
for sure.
That's so
I'll
good.
be honest with you, Ty. I
But
got a lot of cousins that's gay. One of my
Yeah.
closest friends is gay. She's a
Yeah.
gay girl. And I love her to death, and we have
Love
these
you.
type of conversations.
Yeah.
Where I tell her, I don't agree with you. But a lot of things, you'll be honest, a lot of them know that they're doing wrong. And they she's like, Mike, I would never bring a child in my situation
yeah,
because I know it would mess them up. So, and not all gay people think like this. I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're doing wrong, but I mean, we all fall short of the glory of God.
Right.
My
Right.
job is only to love
Absolutely.
you, but I
Yep.
have
Live
to
it
stand
on.
on the word of God. And that's what a lot of people
100%.
don't understand is I still love you. I
Yeah.
love you. I promise you. I'm not hating on you. I don't hate your
Yeah.
children. I don't hate you. I don't hate anything
Nah.
about it. But I have to stand on the word of God. I live on the word of God.
simple as that.
I'm living on that rock. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
standing on that rock.
Yes,
And that's what I
Yes,
stand on.
sir.
And that's what you got to understand, man. And we
Yes,
love
sir.
everybody out there. We're not,
Yeah.
anybody. I just want to make that very clear. Thanks for putting that out there, Kev.
Yes,
We are
sir.
not here to hate.
No, absolutely not.
That's so true,
Like,
brother.
for the-
That is so true.
Yeah,
For the ones that are doing it and they're actually loving and taking care of the kid, bravo. But this is just my opinion on it. Like, I want that system to be strict because I know there's people out there that's not doing right by these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
And-
while not treating them well, you making it even worse as they continue to grow.
Right,
Yes.
because God is a God of order and clarity, not confusion. So that's
Right.
all we're saying is we're in. If there's an alcoholic, we gonna wash them with the word. If somebody's
Amen.
out of pocket with another sin, we gonna wash them with the word. That's all we're saying is no sin is
Yep.
greater than the other. I want someone to correct me when I'm wrong with the
Amen.
word,
Yep.
with the correction. That's all. That's why it has to be the nucleus in the middle to go back to correction. It's got to be that third party there to provide correction on all
Yeah.
accounts. Is all we're
Yep.
saying.
And that's what I say, man. Women are there to provide nurture. Why do you think God put milk in women? To
Amen.
nurture the child. My role is different.
Yep.
When I say something, my son trembles. You know why? Because I was built with more baritone in my voice to actually bring correction. I'm being honest with you. My wife, she brings more of the nurturing. It's roles for a reason. God put
Mhm.
things in men for a reason.
That's real.
Men
right.
are needed. Women are needed in a child's life. That's why we are brought together in that situation to raise children together. All right,
Amen.
because there's certain things I have that my wife don't have. There's certain things my wife have that I don't have. I'm not a nurturer. I'm not that good at that. She's
Yeah.
great at that. You hear what I'm saying? So it's things that the child needs from both parents. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yep.
why we're saying this right now. I mean, man, this was an awesome show, guys. We up on an hour. I really enjoyed it. I can go another hour with y'all, man.
This is great.
It was a great show.
man.
Great show.
Hopefully, y'all receive for some. I gotta let me read the comments because I don't want to, ignore anybody. But cousin Tony said it's definitely both. He said we are missing men in the homes, and this is a ripple effect. He said we have to take into account that many men are walking away from their responsibilities and forcing women into the role of mom and dad. It just ain't on the woman. We talked about that. Working so resentment like Dre did, Meech. Tiffany laughed. He said yes, and only women can be women. Yes,
Amen.
that part not biblical. Raven said, "Yeah, I was so confused because
I saw that.
it was manly looking men otherwise, but had a BBL in the back like beards and all. I was confused. Feel like I'm a rock under a rock." A BBL and a beard is crazy work.
Crazy, diabolical.
Great.
And braids.
But not
braids in the fade.
braids in the face.
I'm talking about thick.
My aunt, hey Alina, she said God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Bring kids into that type of environment causes confusing. Raven said, just as you guys were talking about passing generation curses from cheating, I believe they're passing curses confusion that way as well. Still not the way of God called us to live. So yes, cousin, I agree 100%. And then Tiffany said, great show. Yeah, great show, guys, man. I don't want to hold you guys any longer. I appreciate y'all, man. Dre, you were awesome, man. For your first time being on, bro. You already knew.
Bro.
I knew you were gonna be good on here, man. You got to
Yes,
come back.
sir.
Anytime you
Yeah, man. That's how them Cowboy fans do it, bro. You know when you get Caleb Downs, bro, we're gonna perform, bro.
Wrap it up.
Yeah,
All right.
here we go.
All right,
Dallas
well,
Cowboys for life. That's how we represent, baby.
Yeah.
From the West Coast all the way to the Southeast.
On that
Ah,
Arkansas, baby.
note, time to get up.
I got family in San Diego, baby.
on here a little bit too long. 'Cause,
Oh man, hey, it's been a pleasure, fellas, man. Nothing
Yes,
better than
sir.
doing something like this, man. I'll give up any time to stand on the word with brothers that are really truly doing it. It's been an honor, bro. I love to be back at another time frame. Pleasure, man. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate you, fellas. Talk to
man,
y'all soon.
appreciate y'all, man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, man.
Appreciate it,
Great
guys.
job, fellas.
Hey,
Excellent
yeah.
show.
We are on all platforms. Please follow us on YouTube if you haven't subscribed to the show. We on Twitch. We on Facebook. We on X, formerly known as Twitter, and we on TikTok as well. If you guys could follow us or like our stuff or just comment. If you have any questions, I thank God that brother, my cousin Tony was on here tonight. Gave us some great questions. Meet you,
Yes,
some
sir.
great questions out there. Please, I'm running out of questions sometimes, guys. If you got any questions, man, put them on here and we will answer them, man. We are open, as you see. We're going to answer them as candidly as we can. And I appreciate everybody out there for putting the comments and sending questions. We love you all. See you guys next Tuesday. Peace out. Good show, brothers. That's